The Great War, a storm of steel and fire, millions perished, countless others scarred, forever changed. From the trench's muddy depths, stories arose, not of bravery or valor, but of something else, something unsettling, something supernatural. The Western Front, a festering wound across Europe. Here, amidst the ceaseless bombardment and the stench of death, soldiers encountered the inexplicable. Whispers carried on the wind, shadows moving in the fog. Were these mere tricks of exhausted minds, or glimpses into a realm beyond our own? The horrors of war, they lingered, in the ravaged landscape, in the minds of men, and sometimes they took on forms both terrifying and tragic. These are their stories. Deep beneath the earth, a labyrinth of trenches snaked across the battlefields. One, in particular, earned a chilling reputation, the Trench of Lost Souls. Here, it was said, the dead refused to depart. Soldiers spoke of disembodied voices, whispers slithering through the darkness. They told of cold hands brushing against their necks in the dead of night. Fear became a constant companion. Some dismissed the tales as shell shock, the mind's way of coping with unimaginable trauma. But others, those who had seen too much, they knew better. The Trench of Lost Souls held on to its secrets and its victims. No man's land, a desolate expanse littered with corpses and twisted metal. To venture there was to invite death, yet it was here that one of the most enduring legends of the war took root, the Phantom Regiment. Soldiers on both sides reported it, a spectral column of soldiers marching silently through the night, their uniforms tattered, their faces obscured by shadow. They moved with a purpose unknown to the living. Some whispered of a lost battalion slaughtered to the last man. Others believed it was the spirits of fallen comrades, forever bound to the battlefield. Whatever their true nature, the Phantom Regiment served as a chilling reminder of war's enduring grip. Gas warfare, a new horror unleashed upon the world. Chlorine, mustard gas, phosgene, each more insidious than the last. But there were whispers of something far worse, something that defied explanation. The silent gas attack, they called it. No telltale hiss, no burning sensation, just a creeping dread, and then nothingness. Soldiers found their comrades lifeless, but their faces were contorted in silent screams. Stranger still were the reports of reanimated corpses. Men, their eyes clouded over, their bodies riddled with gas-induced sores, stumbling across the battlefield, driven by some unknown force. Were they truly alive, or something far more sinister? Section 5, Spectres in the Smoke, ghostly apparitions of no man's land. The air above no man's land crackled with tension, a palpable sense of dread that hung over the battlefield like a shroud. But it wasn't just the threat of artillery or sniper fire that put soldiers on edge. It was the apparitions, the ghostly figures that seemed to materialize out of the smoke and fog. Flickering figures, glimpsed through the smoke and haze, like phantoms from another world. Some saw loved ones beckoning them from beyond the veil, their faces etched with sorrow and longing. Others, monstrous shapes, their eyes burning with malevolent intent, seemed to stalk the battlefield with a sinister purpose. Were these hallucinations born of stress and fear, or echoes of the countless souls lost on that blood-soaked ground, their spirits unable to find peace? The line between sanity and madness blurred in the trenches where the horrors of war took a heavy toll on the mind. Every shadow, every whisper of wind could be mistaken for something more sinister, a ghostly presence lurking just out of sight. And in the heart of no man's land, where the dead outnumbered the living, anything seemed possible. The very air seemed to hum with the energy of restless spirits, forever bound to the place where they had fallen. Section 6. The Iron Coffin, mysterious disappearances on a haunted warship. The sea, as unforgiving a battleground as any trench, held secrets as deep as its waters, and upon its waves sailed vessels said to be touched by the supernatural, their stories whispered among sailors. One such ship was dubbed the Iron Coffin by its crew, a name that sent shivers down the spine of even the bravest men, a steel behemoth haunted by a dark past, its very presence a reminder of the horrors of war. Sailors whispered of strange noises below deck, sounds that couldn't be explained by the creaking of the ship or the crashing of the waves. footsteps echoing in the dead of night as if someone or something was walking the corridors, objects moving on their own as if guided by invisible hands. Then came the disappearances, men vanishing without a trace, leaving behind only questions and fear, lost to the depths or to something far more sinister. The sea held its secrets close. The ship became a floating prison of fear, its crew haunted by the unknown. Many believed it was cursed, haunted by the ghosts of those lost in previous battles, their spirits unable to find peace. Whatever the cause, the iron coffin sailed on, a chilling reminder of the unseen dangers lurking beneath the waves, a ghost ship on an endless journey. Section 7, The Revenant's Return, a soldier's unsettling reappearance. War had a way of robbing men of their lives, but sometimes it seemed death was not the end. Tales circulated of soldiers returning from the dead not as heroes, but as harbingers of dread. One such story involved a young soldier presumed killed in action. Weeks later, he reappeared in his unit's trench, his eyes vacant, his uniform caked in mud and blood. He spoke not a word, but stared blankly ahead. The following morning, he was gone, vanished as quickly as he had arrived. Some dismissed it as a case of mistaken identity, but others couldn't shake the feeling that something was deeply, terribly wrong. Section 8, The Unseen Enemy, Shell Shock and the Whispering Dead. Shell shock, a new term for an old horror, the human mind pushed to the brink and beyond. Many veterans returned home bearing invisible wounds, haunted by memories they couldn't escape. Some swore they could still hear the voices of their fallen comrades, whispering their names, pleading for help. The line between reality and nightmare blurred. The whispers followed them home, a constant reminder of the horrors they'd witnessed. Were these whispers merely symptoms of trauma? Or did the dead truly linger, seeking solace, or perhaps vengeance? For those tormented by the whispering dead, there was no easy answer. Section 9, Echoes of War, the enduring legacy of horror. The guns fell silent on the Western Front, but the war's true cost continued to mount. Physical and mental scars ran deep, and the whispers of the supernatural refused to be silenced. Veterans carried their stories home. Tales whispered around campfires, passed down through generations, each telling adding another layer of intrigue and dread. The Great War had ended, but its ghostly grip remained. These stories served as a chilling reminder of the war's true cost. The horrors endured, the lives forever changed, and the unsettling possibility that some wounds, both physical and spiritual, might never truly heal. Section 10, The Blurred Line, where reality meets the supernatural. Were these stories of the supernatural merely the product of overactive imaginations, the result of unimaginable stress and trauma, or did they hint at something more, something beyond our understanding? The human mind, a fragile thing. Pushed to its limits, it can conjure both wonders and horrors. But what of the shared experiences, the numerous accounts of the same phenomena witnessed by soldiers on both sides of the conflict? Perhaps the truth lies somewhere in between, a blending of reality and the supernatural, a testament to the enduring power of fear, loss, and the human need to find meaning in the face of the unimaginable. Section 11, A Final Word, Remembering the Fallen, both seen and unseen. The Great War stands as a stark reminder of the human capacity for both destruction and resilience. It was a conflict that reshaped the world, leaving behind a legacy of both sorrow and strength. The battlefields, now silent, once echoed with the cries of soldiers and the thunder of artillery. The stories of the supernatural, whether real or imagined, add another layer of complexity to its already intricate tapestry. These tales of ghostly apparitions and eerie encounters in the trenches serve as a haunting reminder of the psychological scars left by the war. They are whispers from the past, echoing through time. As we remember the millions who perished in that conflict, let us also remember the unseen scars, the emotional and mental wounds that many soldiers carried with them long after the war had ended. These invisible injuries were just as real and painful as the physical ones. The whispers that lingered long after the guns fell silent, the memories that haunted the veterans in their quiet moments, the faces of fallen comrades that they could never forget. These are the silent echoes of a war that changed the course of history and the enduring power of stories to both haunt and illuminate the human experience. Through letters, diaries, and personal accounts, we gain a deeper understanding of the human cost of war. These stories are a testament to the resilience of the human spirit and the enduring impact of the Great War. For in the end, it is through stories that we make sense of the world around us. They help us to remember, to reflect, and to honor those who came before us. The stories of the Great War are a vital part of our collective memory, a bridge between the past and the present. And perhaps, just perhaps, find a way to honor the memory of those who sacrificed so much, in ways both seen and unseen. By remembering their stories, we keep their legacy alive and ensure that their sacrifices are never forgotten.